Nice. Hello, everybody. I see you're not ready yet. Seems like May is not ready yet. Nyung, your camera is broken?
No, it's okay for me now.
You need to have the camera on. If you want them to have it on, you need to have it on too. Otherwise, because they always follow, you know? They always follow the adult. If the adult has it off, they will have it off. If the adult has it on, they will have it on.
Okay, I see.
You always are a leading example, you know? So the way you want them to do, you need to do it too. Okay, so May, it seems that May gets frozen. Oh, it's gone. All right. And Ao is gone. Ao is probably helping May. Do you know that Ao and May are brother and sister? So, Nyung, if you see that May has a problem, you can ask Ao to see May to help her. All right, so let's wait for May. So we are still waiting for May. Okay, that's great. Nice. So we can sit in a comfortable meditation posture. Seems like everything goes well. Very good. Yes, May is fine. May, just stay there. Everything's good. No, May, all is good. Don't do anything. And make sure that your back is erect. We can cast the sight down so we see the floor in front of us. And we can make the first determination in our minds voicelessly. From now on for 15 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on for 15 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on for 15 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. And with that determination, we can gently, lovingly notice the flat piece of flesh at the top of the head. Let's allow it to be heavy. We continue in this manner to the forehead, eyes, nose, lips, chin, cheeks, ears, back of the head, and we allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the head to be heavy. We continue to the neck, shoulders, arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, palms, fingers, tips of fingers, chest, abdomen, back, and we allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the upper part of the body to be heavy and changing. We continue to the buttocks, thighs, knees, calves, heels, soles, toes, tips of toes, and we allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the body to be heavy. And we enjoy this heaviness. Let's increase this heaviness as we say heavy, heavy in our minds voicelessly. And now, as we allow the body to be the way it is, we enjoy the freedom from worry about the body. So we let the body to be the way it is, except just make sure the back is erect and you don't move. And when we allow the body to be the way it is, we achieve this freedom from worry. So let's observe this freedom from worry. Let's observe, let's watch this peace. Now let's share this peace with other living beings. And we start in our room. We will not force or expect. We just allow them to be in peace. So if some of them are not in peace, it doesn't matter. Important is that we allow. Do I allow? Then it is fine. So in our minds, voicelessly, we can repeat one sentence again and again. May all beings in this room be in peace. May all beings in this room be in peace. May all beings in this city or village be in peace. May all beings on this planet be in peace. May all beings, including me, be in peace. May all beings, including me, be in peace. May all beings, including me, be in peace. And watch the relationship between you and peace. Are you connected to your peace? Are you watching the peace? Or is there something else that disturbs the connection? You should know it. May all beings, including me, be in peace. Now, because the time for this sitting is finished, let's make the last determination in our minds voicelessly. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. And we can slowly, mindfully change the way of our sitting. Do not come to the camera yet. Stay in your place. Unless you want to go to toilet, you can. And we will take one more minute to enjoy the peace we gain in meditation without any movement. So May, you should not run out from your place. You need to stay there and continue. You didn't finish yet. One more minute. So we are there with the mind, with the peace, and we are curiously observing, watching, what is this peace for 1 minute. Okay. So today we will be reciting 3 Refuges, 5 Precepts. and you will take them in Burmese pronunciation. So everybody can unmute. So you can unmute yourself. And may also you can unmute yourself. Yes. So remember to keep your hands together, and we will go through Burmese pronunciation. So make sure you pronounce very carefully, exactly in the way I do. Yamaha wadami tan wadeta. Aham bhanti. Did you hear me? Aham bhanti. Titarane nataha. Piensatilan dhamma yasami. Anogahan katawa. Tilan de tame bhante. Anukampan upadaya. Dutiyampi aham bhante. Titarane nataha. Piensatilan dhamma yasami. Anogahan katawa. Tilan de tame bhante. Yes, try to pronounce exactly as I pronounce. Be very careful, it's not easy. Anukampan upadaya. Tatiyampi aham bhante. Titarane nataha. Piensatilan dhamma yasami. Anogahan katawa. Tilan de tame bhante. Anukampan upadaya. Namo tata bhagavato arahato tamma sambuddhassa. Namo tata bhagavato arahato tamma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato tamma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sambuddhassa.
So May, can you try alone? Namo tassa bhagavato.
Can you repeat it?
Okay. Namo tassa bhagavato. Bhagavato. Arahato. Dhamma. Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa
Namo Tassa
Bhagavato Arahato.
Arahato.
So, do you see the text? Can you read it? It is written there. Do you see here? There is written Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato. You just read the text. You see it? Now can you see it? Namo Tassa Bhagavato. Can you see it? Oh, can you please help your sister to see the text?
That line. Yeah.
Okay. So May, you need to follow according to the text, otherwise it's very difficult. So now let's go everybody. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Tamma Sambuddhassa.
Arahato Sambuddhassa.
Okay. Bodhantaranang Gissami. Dhammantaranang Gissami. Sanghantaranang Gissami. Okay, try to be exact and try to pronounce everything that I say. All right. Dutiyampi Bodhan.
Yeah.
So, May, try it alone. Dutiyampi Bodhan. Very good. So now everybody, Taranang Gissami. Dutiyampi Dhamma. Taranang Gissami. Dutiyampi Tangham. No, it is Dutiyampi. Let's try and be careful about how I say it. Remember to keep your hands together at the chest. Also. Okay, yes, I see. Dutiyampi Tangham. Dutiyampi Tangham. Very well. Taranang Gissami. Very well. Now let's move on. Tatiyampi Bodhan. Taranang Gissami. Tatiyampi Tangham. Taranang Gissami. Tatiyampi Tangham. Taranang Gissami. Okay, so now you have taken the 3 refuges. Taranagamanam Pariponam. Okay, so May, can you see the text very well? Now we will be reading this Panatipata. Can you see it well?
Yeah.
Yes. So be careful and pronounce exactly as I say it. Everybody. Panatipata. Veramaniteka padantamadhyami. Okay, so this means I follow the precept of refraining from killing living beings. It means we never kill. We always help others to be happy, to be healthy, to have a long life. Now the second precept, Adainadana. Veramaniteka padantamadhyami. So that means I follow the precept of refraining from taking what is not given. It means we never steal. Now the third precept, Kametu Meisasara. Veramaniteka padantamadhyami. So this means I follow the precept of refraining from sexual misconduct. So that means that if you have a husband or wife, then you should not fall in love with anyone else. Now the fourth precept means I follow the precept of refraining from false speech. It means we never tell lies. Mutawada. Veramaniteka padantamadhyami. The fifth precept means I follow the precept of refraining from drinking alcohol and taking drugs. Durameraya mezza. Pamadatthana. Veramaniteka padantamadhyami. Very well. So now I will encourage you all to follow and protect the 3 refuges and the 5 precepts and to make effort mindfully. And you can then reply, Ama Bhante, Titranena Tadhain Pien Satilan Dhamman Tadukam Turakidam Katwa Apamadena Tampadetham. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you soon attain the eternal bliss of Nibbana. Very well. So let's continue in the story of the Prince Siddhartha, and then we can plan our Christmas Eve next week. So Prince Siddhartha, do you someone remember what we talked about when we talked about Prince Siddhartha? What happened to him, the last thing? May, can you tell us? Do you remember?
No.
You don't remember? You asked so many questions, you need to remember what was going on. What did we learn the last class? Do you remember at least a little? You don't remember. You see, you need to remember that. Otherwise, that's not fair. Okay, what about Rere? Well, Rere, you didn't come last week, right? Okay, so what about Lucas? Lucas, do you remember what we talked about last week?
No, I don't remember.
You remember? So, will you rescue them? Will you save them?
I think we learned about
Last 5 of what?
Good deeds.
Good deeds. That is what we did a week before that, not what we did the last week. But anyway, that's pretty good. So the Prince Siddhartha, he met someone on the way to the royal garden. So May, do you know who the Prince Siddhartha met on the way to the royal garden?
An old man,
That's
sick
true.
man, and a dead man.
That's right. Anyone else? There was one more man that he met. Yes, Ray?
I think an ill man.
He met what?
Ill man, like a sick man.
A sick man. No. That is just one sick man. He met just one sick man. Lucas?
Something like a monk, but it's not a monk.
That's right. Something like a monk, but that's not a monk. That's not a monk. Exactly. So he met something like a monk, but it's not a monk. Ang, do you know how we call that person?
A hermit.
Hermit, very good. But what's the word used in the book? May, do you remember what's the word used in the book? May, you need to unmute yourself. I can't hear you. So what is the word for the hermit, for the monk? What is the word in the book?
Recluse.
That's right. Perfect. Very well. May, you're listening. You remember. Nice. Okay, so now I'm happy about that. So now, what happened with the recluse? So Lucas, can you tell us what happened when the Prince Siddhartha met with the recluse? What happened? Lucas, can you tell us? Do you remember? Ray, do you remember?
No.
Ray, can you tell us what happened when the prince met with the recluse?
I think he asked the chariot.
That's right. He asked the chariot. What did he ask the chariot?
I think he asked him, like, what's that?
What's this? That's right. And then what did the chariot say?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
You forgot about that. Oh, do you remember what the chariot said? You're muted. Oh, I'm listening.
Man.
No. The prince asked the chariot, "What's this?" when he saw the recluse. So then what did the chariot say? So what did the chariot tell to the prince when the prince saw the recluse? May, can you tell them? May, can you tell them what the chariots and what the charioteer said? May, no idea. Rere, do you remember what the charioteer said? The charioteer said, "This is a recluse." Oh, that's so difficult, isn't it? So then the charioteer said, "What is this recluse about? What actually is a recluse?" And the charioteer explained that a recluse is someone who does the 10 good things and who wears a robe made of colored by bark and who has a Bald head. That means doesn't have hair. That's what he said. And now there is a problem. Because the charioteer actually did not know anything about monks. So how could he know about these 10 good things? How could he know about that? Will anyone tell me? So how could the recluse know about the recluse? How could the charioteer know about the recluse if the charioteer did not know about the recluse? How could the charioteer tell the prince Siddhartha who is a recluse if the charioteer did not know it? How was this possible? Because the charioteer actually did not know what's a recluse. So when the prince Siddhartha asked a question, the charioteer would not be able to answer, but the charioteer answered. How did that happen? And it happened because gods took power over his lips. And through the lips of the charioteer, they told to the prince who is a recluse. So the charioteer did not tell it because he would know it or remember it. It was because the gods entered the mind of the charioteer and they took power over his mouth and they told it to the prince. So the prince thought that the charioteer said it, but in fact, it was the gods who said it. The gods took power over the body of the charioteer, and then they used the body of the charioteer to answer the question of the prince. I think that's what we were talking about the last class. Let's check it out. So look at this. Here, although the charioteer had no knowledge of a recluse or his virtues, since it was a time before the Buddha ever would appear, so of course the charioteer could not know because this explanation was not available. The charioteer said it through supernatural powers of the Devas. That is, through the supernatural power of the gods, that the man was a recluse. And then the charioteer explained the good qualities of a recluse. So sometime now there is a little comment. Now you see the prince, he was trying to go to the royal garden once every 4 months. One time he went, he saw an old man, and then 4 months he stayed in the palace. Second time when he went, he saw a sick man, and then he was disappointed, returned to the palace, and waited another 4 months. Third time, he saw a dead man, again disappointed, he waited in the palace another 4 months, and then he went out and saw the recluse. Now the point is here that long ago there were other Buddhas like our Buddha Gautama, and they also had to see the old man, sick man, dead man, and the recluse. And the other Buddhas in the past, however, they lived long time, like 20,000 years or 200,000 years long. Their life was so long. Today we live about 100 years. But long ago they lived about 20,000 years or 200,000 years. So that's a lot. And at that time, those Buddhas, those Buddha to be, those princes, when they went outside, they would then see an old man, they would return back to the palace, but then they waited 100 years in that palace. And then they went another time and they saw a sick man, then again returned and waited another 100 years. Then they tried to go to their royal garden again. They saw a dead man and again returned to the palace for another 100 years. And they went for the last time to see the recluse. So that's with other Buddhas, not with our Buddha Gautama. So look at this. Thereupon the Bodhisattva said to the charioteer, "This man is truly admirable, and noble for having gone forth from the world. The Buddha, to be the prince, was very happy that he could see a monk. And when he saw the monk, he thought, oh, this monk is so respectable. I should be respecting this person. And bearing in mind, it is good practice, the 10 courses of wholesome actions, that is another quality of the recluse. So again, this was a praise of the Buddha to be. So just because he is admirable and noble, charioteer, drive the chariot to the place where is the recluse. Let's go and speak with the recluse. You see, this is the first time when the Buddha to be is going to speak with the person. With the previous 3, he saw them, realized the problem, and returned back to the palace. Here it is opposite. Here he sees the recluse and he goes to see and speak with the recluse. Isn't that interesting? Bodhisattva asked the recluse, a creation of the Devas, "O man, what is that you're doing?" So the prince wanted to know more. So he approached the recluse. But be careful. Who was the recluse? A god. The gods, they created this recluse. So of course they could provide the best answer to the Buddha to be. And so the recluse said, "Your Majesty, I'm known as a recluse." And then he says, "Majesty, I'm one who has gone forth from the household life." That means I have left my home and I became a monk. And having shaved off the hair and beard and wearing the bark-dyed clothes, I follow the 10 good things. And so here we have Dhamma for being righteous, then Sama for being in accord with righteousness, Kusala for being blemish-free, and Punya for being pure and clean. So these are some of the good things. So we call the good things those good things that help us to be righteous, to be just, the things that help us to apply righteousness even to others. Kusala means whatever we do is with a good intention, not to harm anyone. And punya is a good deed, such as giving things, but with the understanding that if you give to someone, you will be happy in the future. So the Bodhisattva Prince said in acknowledgement and approval, "You are indeed admirable and noble. You have gone forth from the household life, having shaved off the hair and beard, and wearing the bark-dyed clothes, and bearing in mind that it is good to practice Dhamma, Sama, Kusala, and Punya." So what is that? Dhamma is being righteous, Sama is righteousness and peace, Kusala means wholesomeness, helping others, not harming others, and Punya means generosity, giving. So then also he appreciated that this recluse also did not harm anyone. Okay, so this is for the time being our story about the prince, and now the plan for the next week. So I have a plan. My idea is that you can learn a little poem. There is a big poem about the Buddha. It is called The Light of Asia. And this poem has 5,300 lines. That would be a book like this. No, you're not going to learn 5,300 lines, but I wish that you learn 2. Only 2. But each of you would learn other 2 lines. I also would learn 2 lines. But we all would learn some other lines. You know what I mean? And then in the when we have meeting next week, then you would recite, one person would I would recite the first 2 lines, then let's say Rere continues, then Ao, then Lucas, and then May. and we will recite like this altogether 10 lines. I recite 2 lines, Rare 2 lines, Aung 2 lines, Lucas 2 lines, and May 2 lines. Altogether 10 lines we can recite. And that would be a support for you so that you remember there is a nice poem about the Buddha. This is a very important, very old poem about the Buddha in English. All right, so who of you actually wants to come next? Who of you actually wants to come next week? Rare is coming. Will you be coming?
I think it depends if I go somewhere or not.
Okay, so it would be good to know. Can you ask your parents what's their plan? Lucas is coming, that's good. So let's see.
Okay, I'm coming.
You will be coming.
Yes, we aren't going anywhere.
So I suppose May will also be coming? Yes, okay, that's great. Well, that's your night, right? It's your evening. It's your like 7 p.m. So even if you go outside, maybe you'll be able to come back on time. May, you want to say something? May, do you want to say something? All right. So now I need to distribute to you the lines. Yes?
On Christmas, we are not going anywhere.
Yes, yes. So now the point is that I need to know who is the oldest, and I need to know when were you born, and then according to that I will decide who will start. Who will be the? I will always start, but who will be the second, third, fourth? So I would like to ask Rere, do you remember? Do you remember the year and month when you were born? Can you tell me?
March 11, 2013.
I think 10th of March. Yeah, okay. March 11. I see. Okay, okay. So I just want to know the year and month. So 2013 March, and that's Ray Ray. And then what about Ao? Do you remember your year and month of birth?
2012 August.
What about Lucas? I don't hear you. Can you unmute yourself?
January 2015.
Okay. And May? Can you unmute yourself? I don't hear you.
2015 August.
Nice. Very good. So now from this we know that Ao is the oldest person in here, after me of course. And then so we have me, Ashin Sarana, then we have Ao, then we have, oh, yes, that's right. And then, wow, Ao is very old. Ao, you are now 10 years, right? 11. Ao, are you 11 years old? Is that possible?
Not yet, I'm still 10.
You're 10, okay. So, okay. So then Ao, then we have Frere, and then we have May, and actually May is, yes, Lucas is older. Lucas is older than May, right? All right, please check it out. So Ao is the oldest, then comes Rere, then Lucas, and then May. Is that right? All right, so now I will share with you the verses and explain to you what they actually mean. Okay, so that's what we get. So this is what you will be reciting. Those are words that I wish that you memorize, and you can then recite them out of your memory next week. And just the 2 lines, nothing else. But we will be reciting it all together. So I will recite my lines, and then continues Ao, and then comes Rere, and then comes Lucas, and then comes May. All right? So, May, do you think you can learn 2 lines? May, what do you think? May, I'm listening. Do you think you can learn 2 lines until next week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's not so difficult, right? Lucas, do you think you can learn 2 lines? Yes. And Rere? Yes, easy. May, so May, do you think you can learn the 2 lines?
Yes.
Yes, perfect. Okay, so important is that you are able to say the 2 lines without looking at a paper. So you will need to train. You will need to learn it and then not look at the book and say it out loud without looking in the book. So now what does this mean? It is very deep and difficult to understand. I will send you the link to the full 5,300 lines. And as you can see, we'll learn just a very tiny little portion. Okay, so I will recite the scripture of the Savior of the world, Lord Buddha, Prince Siddhartha, styled on earth. That means I will say now we are going to talk according to the Buddha's teachings, according to the books. And in there, the Buddha the one who saved the world, the one who rescued the world from ignorance, rescued the world from ignorance of the Four Noble Truths. Now the world knows the Buddha's teachings. Why? Because the Buddha taught them. Prince Siddhartha styled on earth. So first it was Prince Siddhartha who established himself on earth as a human, and then he became the Buddha. Then Ao will continue, and he will say that in earth and heavens and hells incomparable, all honored, wisest, best, most pitiful. That means the Buddha himself. So the Buddha is not comparable. He's better than all beings, everybody, anybody in earth, in the sky, in the heavens, and even in hell. There is no living being, no God or human or hell being or animal who would be better than the Buddha. All honored means everybody respects the Buddha. Wisest means that he is the wisest. The Buddha is the wisest of all. He is the best. He is the kindest. He is the most knowledgeable. And he is the most pitiful. That means he has compassion enough to help us to also achieve freedom from greed, hatred, ignorance. So this is what Aung recites. Then comes Rare. Rare recites, the teacher of nirvana and the law then came here to be born again for men. So the teacher, that's the Buddha. The Buddha who taught the way to become enlightened, Nibbana. And the law. The law is the way how the world works. So law means here that if you do good deeds, you will enjoy pleasure. If you do bad things, then you will have pain and suffering. So this Buddha who explained the way to Nibbana and how the world works, he came to be born again for us, for humans, so that we get the benefit of the teachings. So that's what Rare says. Then comes Lucas and he says, below the high sphere, 4 regents sit, who rule out the world, and under them are zones. Who are 4 regents? 4 kings. 4 kings, the king of dragons, the king of heavenly birds, the king of ogres. You know Shrek? Shrek is an ogre. So the king of ogres. And then the king of treasure keepers. There are special gods who keep treasures so that you cannot steal them. Treasure keepers. So these are 4 kings of gods. 4 kings. King of dragons, king of heavenly birds, king of ogres, and the king of treasure keepers. So these keepers, these 4 kings of gods, they are very close to us. They are not very powerful. They are not very high heaven. No, low heaven. It is actually the first heaven. Then above the 4 gods, there is another heaven, and there lives one king of gods, and that is Sakka. So this Sakka is more powerful than these 4 gods. So Sakka, but below Sakka there are these 4 gods, and these 4 gods, they are right above our earth. So below these 4 gods there are 4 worlds of humans, and we are now in one. This is one world of humans. But there are another 3 worlds of humans. Where are other humans? Probably. It's a little complicated. So below the high sphere, 4 regents sit. So below the high sphere of the king of gods, Sakka, there is a lower sphere, lower heaven, with the dragons, heavenly birds, the ogres, and the treasure keepers. And below there is the human world, the 4 zones of human world. And then comes May, and May will say, nearer but high, where saintly spirits dead, wait thrice 10,000 years, then live again. Not easy to memorize this, but it's just 2 lines. So you need to try and see. Nearer but high. That is the nearer but high is probably these four worlds. In those 4 worlds, there live these gods. And these gods, when first humans meditate and they're generous in this life as humans, then they may be born as those dragons and heavenly birds, and as the treasure keepers, and as the ogres. They can be born higher, depends on how much generous they are and how strictly they follow the rules. And so those very saintly spirits, the very saintly humans here, they die and they may be born for long time in those 4 heavens. And that is not just 30,000 years. You see, thrice 10,000 is 30,000 years, but even longer. And then they die and they may be born here as humans again. And that's the meaning. Is the meaning as I understand it. All right, so does everybody understand your 2 lines? Do you have any question about your 2 lines? May, do you have any question about your 2 lines? I know it's very difficult. It's very hard to understand it. No question? Okay. So try it out and you will see as you memorize, you will maybe realize that you have more questions. So you can go through that next week. But this is not all for our next class. There is something more. And that is a picture. So I have a picture for you, and it would be great if your parents can print it out for you. And then you will be writing things in this picture. You will be writing there your 2 lines. So I will show you the picture. You will probably need to tell your parents about this picture, and you can tell them that you would like to have this picture in A4 with color. That would be nice. So what do you see? Ray, do you know what kind of tree is this? No idea what kind of tree is this? Lucas, do you know what tree is this? No idea? May, do you know what tree is this? No? Oh, do you know what tree is this?
A tree on earth.
That's a tree on earth. Would you know more specifically which tree is this?
A tree with green on it.
That's not exactly what I'm asking about. This is the tree under which the Buddha became a Buddha. And therefore we call it Bodhi tree. Bodhi tree. Okay? So this is a Bodhi tree, and here you see Bodhi leaves. And now here you have 1 blank Bodhi leaf. And I wish that if you can get this printed out, ideally in color, but can be black and white, doesn't matter. I wish that you write your 2 sentences on this leaf into this white space. But if you write your 2 sentences, you need to remember to add the name of the poem and the name of the person who wrote the poem. So I will give an example for Rere. So Rere will write, the teacher of nirvana and the law, then came he to be born again for men. And right below that in brackets, Rere can write, the light of Asia, Sir Edwin Arnold. So Rere can write it exactly like this. If you get it printed out in A4 format, the normal paper size, then there should be enough space. You may need to write with small letters. And that's all. Does anyone have any question, any concerns, any worries? Let me know. No questions at all? Okay, I will share this also in our California preteen class. And that's it. So it was a pleasure to see everybody, and I hope to see you all next week. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be successful in everything you do.
Thank you. Goodbye, Venerable Sir.
Nice. Thank you.